Welcome back to Ozarks Fox AM. It is time for another Rabe review, and I gotta tell you, the latest season of Grace and Frankie has dropped on Netflix. And yes, I did binge the whole thing because I've watched it from the beginning, and Grace and Frankie are back. Now, you're probably wondering what crazy and hilarious hijinks have these two wacky ladies gotten themselves into? Take a look.
Raise your glasses, people, to the newlyweds, Grace and Nick.
Surprise. You're worried things are going to change, but things won't change.
Everything is going to change.
So you're Nick's new wife?
That's me.
I'm the new wife, too. Me, too.
I'm terrified that my best friend made a huge mistake.
You're having a complete breakdown.
What are you, a narc? Drink it.
This is the last thing I want to even think about.
This is what we do. We take an obstacle and we make an opportunity. This is a new business for us. Rise up. Crowd noise.
But we've always done it together. This is our company's second act. It's our second act. We all really need to start drinking less.
Let's go catch us a shark.
Let's do it. Hello, sharks.
This show is just fun. It's just fun, and I love seeing these ladies of a certain age still out there kicking it. Now, I will be honest, the very first episode of this season drags on a bit, but the first episode of any new season does have to tackle the cliffhanger of the previous season before you can get to the action and the good new stuff of the new season. So get through that first episode where they're trying to wrap up all the loose ends from last season and then get through it, because I wasn't as crazy about last season, but this season, the ladies are back in business. Now, the reason they even got together is their husbands left them. They started a business. It kind of strayed from that. Well, guess what? This season, they're starting a new business. And I love them when they put on their business hats and become successful in their 80s. Yes, that's right. By the way, Lily Tomlin, 80 years old. Jane Fonda, 82. And they look amazing. Now, the business they're starting, let me just tell you, it's based on what they call real-life scenarios. The first business they started was a problem of aging. The second one is quite hilarious. Now, I'm not quite to their age yet, but one day, tell me if this is true. The whole business started because Jane Fonda's character, I know it's early in the morning, but listen to this, couldn't get off the toilet. She had problem standing up, she said, because of her age. So the product of this new season is a toilet that the seat rises and helps you stand up after you're on, and it's called the Rise Up. And as you'll know, they're rising up together because I mean, come on. The 12-year-old boy in me is laughing hysterically at this because it's potty humor. It's toilet humor, and it's amazing. And the cast is also amazing. You have just the whole lineup. They're all back. And what I love, too, is you have Grace and Frankie, who are the main storylines of the season, but their supporting characters, which are their children and their spouses, all have great characters and character development and storylines dealing with business issues, getting fired, getting hired, getting married, having babies. It's just a really complex look at real life, even though, let's be honest, this life they're living right now is beautifully shot. They have perfect makeup. They have perfect hair. Like, whose life really is that? You never see them looking bad. But that aside, it is a really great show. And one of the things I loved, one of the best scenes, is Jane Fonda's character. You'll know from the previous season, the last episode, she gets married to Peter Gallagher, who is quite younger than her, maybe 25 years younger than Jane Fonda. They get married. Well, he takes her to this big event. Well, Grace has to sit at a table with all the new wives. Now, all the new wives, of course, are men in their 60s with wives in their 20s. So there's Jane Fonda's character sitting there at a table with a lot of 20-something women going, oh, I'm the new wife, I'm the new wife. And Jane Fonda's like, I'm the new wife. And the look she gets from these 20-somethings is like, huh? But the good thing is, the 20-somethings learn something from Jane Fonda, and Jane Fonda actually helps them start businesses to be independent and not have to be a trophy wife. But I'll be honest, if I was young and hot and a woman, maybe I'd be a trophy. I don't know. It's just a really good show. By the way, next season, they've already announced, season 6 just aired, but the next season, which will probably come out next January, that's the way they've kind of been doing it with Grace and Frankie, is a January premiere. Season 7 will be the final season. And the end of season 6 had a really great cliffhanger, which almost, by the way it ended, kind of brings the whole story full circle. So I'm excited to see what they do with season 7 to kind of bring that season 1 back to season 7. It's kind of hysterical, a little unbelievable, but really good TV. So I highly recommend Grace and Frankie. Start at the beginning, watch all the way through. This is, by the way, an adult show, not good for the kids. Very adult topics in this show. Now, I wasn't going to talk about this today, but I have to because last night, by accident, I happened to see a show. Netflix just dropped another show just a few days ago, and that I'm embarrassed to say has intrigued me, and I actually watched 2 episodes during dinner last night. I can't believe I watched it, but I did. I'm torn on how I feel about this. I'll explain later, but Gwyneth Paltrow has a new show on Netflix called The Goop Lab. Just take a look at this.
Just explore ideas that may seem out there or too scary.
Are you guys ready to go out in the field and make a ruckus?
Just another day at the office. I had an exorcism.
Oh, wow.
I went through years of therapy in about 5 hours.
I started to feel like a panic attack coming on.
She knew something that my husband didn't even know.
This is dangerous.
It's unregulated.
Should I be scared? We're here one time, one life. How can we really milk out of this?
Okay, I'm going to have them cue Kaylee Custer's mic because Kaylee just brought something to my attention. Now, before I even talk to Kaylee about this, there is a trailer at the beginning of every episode that says, consult a doctor before trying any of this stuff. Do not try this at home. This is an entertainment show. Do not try this without consulting a doctor. And then, Kaylee, you just came in and told me this.
Yeah, Britain's National Health Organization, they said, yeah, don't take this as medical advice. And they say it actually poses a health risk because a lot of people will take this as medical advice. There's like coffee enemas, and this is everything that the Britain's National Health Service says not to do.
Not to do.
Coffee enemas, energy exorcisms, psychic vampire repellent.
Okay, I'm only 2 episodes in.
So you've got a lot to go.
Well, I'm telling you, I only had 2 episodes in. The first episode was on psychedelic mushrooms and therapy with mushrooms. And the second was about cold therapy, like doing breathing exercises and then jumping in freezing cold water, like in the Antarctic.
Yeah.
And how you can control your immune system. Now, not that I believed it, but it's shot beautifully and it's intriguing. And I did laugh because you're seeing beautiful, rich people do these crazy things, which to me is like a fantasy from far away. So,
I can see why they would say, no, don't do this stuff.
Thanks for that, Kaylee. I appreciate that. Breaking news right here. All right, more fun on Ozarks Box AM right after this. I'm so glad you found that.
Yeah.
Because it
was crazy in the nick of time. Like, I found it right before I came in the studio.
That's perfect.
I was like, hey, has he talked about it yet?